have the, I have lots of doctors tonight. All right. Elizabeth, I'll
It's
wait for you to
joining.
tell
We
me.
could just start. Yeah.
Is that all right? All
Yeah.
right, let's start the recording. Well, good evening. I am Christine Peterson, and I'm really honored tonight to have Dr. Robert Greene, a board certified doctor, to come in and tell us about the amazing products of 3 International, why he chose it, and all of his expertise. And he himself can tell you a lot of his background. And I want to thank Elizabeth Amunia for setting this up. She deals with a lot of doctors and wants them to be educated from a doctor. And they speak their own language, which I certainly understand. So, with that, Dr. Robert Greene, I'm going to turn it over to you. And I'm going to, do you need any slides? Do you need or anything? Are you just talking? I can make you a co-host if you need to. I'm just letting you know.
If you could just run the slides for
Yes,
me, that would be
yes.
great.
It's, it's going to be are we doing my slides or
Yeah.
your slides? Are we going
No,
to do my?
your slides
Okay,
just on the
okay.
products.
All right. Then let me pull this up real quick and I'll pull up the products just real quickly. Oh, what happened here? Just a minute. Sorry. I don't know what happened here. Uh, oh, I've got just a minute. I'm sorry. What happened here? Sorry. Um, it's like I can't let me do this. Let me stop my sharing. Maybe that'll help. So sorry. Technical difficulties. 1 second here. I'm going to try this again. All right. All right. Just here we go. All right. We are going to go down here. And I'm going to go right down into the slides into, would you like to start there with, is this where you would like to start with Dr. Dan Gubler,
Sure,
Dr. Green?
sure, sure,
And then we'll go. Okay,
sure.
great. All right.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Robert Greene, and I am talking to you from Rancho Mirage, California, which is right next to Palm Springs, California, which is about 100 miles east of LA. And I have been in the practice of internal medicine. I'm a board certified internal medicine physician, 50 plus years on the East Coast, on the West Coast, still practicing down here in Southern California. And I have a background basically that starts like this. I went to Tufts Medical School in Boston. Then I went to Montefiore Hospital and the Albert Einstein College of Medicine in New York City. Then I went to Case Western Reserve University, University Hospitals for more residency and fellowship training. And then I came east and started a practice in internal medicine in Westchester County, New York. It's a suburb of New York City. And by that time, I had already understood the importance of vitamins and supplements and minerals and herbs and homeopathy and meditation and Zen and chiropractic and all of the modalities that my colleagues had heard about but did not use. And so they thought I was a quack. But meanwhile, my patients loved it because who wouldn't want to take something that is a non prescription medication with all kinds of side effects if it's going to get you the same results as a prescription medication? So the practice grew very rapidly, and people, my colleagues basically looked down their noses at me thinking I was some kind of oddball. Well, here it is today, 50 years later or so, and the whole world now is into proactive wellness and preventive medicine and kinds of things that they all thought was not going to go anywhere. And this is currently the proactive wellness arena today is currently $200 billion a year. And some people think it's going to go to 500 billion or maybe a trillion in just another 5 to 10 years. And that's because people want to stay healthy, and they basically want to use proactive wellness treatments and supplements if it's going to keep them healthy and there's no side effects. So I have been looking for a company like this for many years, and every time someone called me up and said, "Hey, Dr. Greene, I hear you are open-minded as an internist and are willing to look at nutritionals and supplements and herbs and things like that," the first thing I would say is, "Show me the studies." And of course, there were no studies. So about 2 years ago, when my friend Sally up in the San Francisco area called me up and said, "Hey, I want you to look at this company called Three International," I said, "Well, show me the studies." And she said, "Sure." And I almost fell over because I did not expect that there would be any studies. So I looked at these studies, this epigenetic study that you see down there on the bottom of the screen. Look at the top right-hand corner, the cellular absorption study. And then I heard about this advanced delivery technology that Dr. Dan has. And I decided, you know what, after looking at these studies and seeing how they were really the real deal, these are third party studies, which means, and I'm going to go into detail in a few minutes about these studies, but what these studies are third party studies, which means that Dr. Dan and his lab did the research, and then they sent it out to another lab and they said, duplicate the results, see if you get what we got, and Lordy, they got the same results. So it's the real deal. This fellow, Dr. Dan, who you see in the top left-hand corner, he is basically the nerd or the brains behind all of these products. He is a PhD in organic chemistry. For those of you who don't know, organic chemistry is one of the toughest courses, and he's a PhD in it. Plus, he's trained at Caltech, which is a very prestigious Harvard of the West Coast, you might say, here in California. He has been doing this forever. He's only 46, but he's probably been doing this for maybe 20 years or so. His grandfather was one of the pioneers that found out about thiamine, and he just eats, breathes, sleeps nutritionals, molecules, phytonutrients. There are 600,000 species of plants in the world, and only 5% have been analyzed or looked at in terms of their medicinal value. And Dr. Dan wants to look at the other 95%. And I told him he better hurry up because that's a lot of work to do, and he's 46 years of age. In any event, the man has got 17 patents. He's brought to market 70 different products that are in the proactive wellness area, and he basically is the brains behind all of the products at Three International. Now, this is an exciting company because it's got dynamic management, but the real key is the products. It's the products, the products, the products. And if the products were garbage, this thing would not be growing like fire. The company is only 3 years old this coming May, and it's already done over $200 million of sales of these products in 15 countries around the world. And that's because they are effective. That's because they work. Now, another wonderful thing about this company is it's all based on science. And if you look at that left-hand screen, the scientific advisory board is made up of about 10 physicians in all kinds of specialties, some MDs, some MD PhDs from good schools, Harvard and Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins and places like that. And what they do is they volunteer their time. Yes, volunteer their time to get on Zoom calls and sometimes in personal meetings with Dr. Dan, who of course is a salaried employee of Three International. And what they do is they talk with Dr. Dan about what direction they want to see the company going in and what's the next product area that they'd like Dr. Dan to see if he can come up with some magic. So this scientific advisory board is just another reason why I got so excited about it, because let me tell you, physicians who have credentials, who have cred, who have years of experience, who publish, are not going to put their name on a company or be associated with a company if it's got garbage. And that's one of the reasons why this is so exciting. Plus, the products are all in the PDR. Look over there in the bottom right-hand corner. The PDR, or physicians back in the day when I started practicing in 1978, PDR stood for Physician's Desk Reference. Today, it's prescriber's digital reference. The reason is because when I started, only MDs or DOs were authorized by the medical boards to write prescriptions. But today, nurse practitioners and PAs in many states can write prescriptions. So it's called the prescriber's digital reference. Now, let me tell you some other exciting things about this. There are about 20,000, give or take, nutritional supplement companies around the world. There's about 1,000, give or take, here in the United States. Every one of them wants to get its products accepted into this PDR. That's quite a prestigious event. The PDR is totally independent of all nutritional and proactive wellness companies. And if you go to pdr.net, you can look at their staff, which is filled with MDs and PhDs. And what companies such as ours do is they submit their products to the PDR, and then the PDR staff of scientists goes through the products with meticulous detail, looks at each ingredient, and they decide whether or not the product is worthy enough or reliable enough or has enough cred to basically be included in the PDR. So these 1,000 or 1,200 wellness companies are all wanting to get their products into the PDR, and 21 of them have been accepted into the PDR. But we, 3 International, are the only ones that have all of our products accepted into the PDR. That's huge in terms of credibility. Okay, can you go to the next slide?
Yes. Well, I, uh, uh, Kimberly, can you pull that down? It froze on me. I don't know what happened. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we have a product line that basically the foundation of this is called the Simple Six. Look at that slide. There are 6 products in the Simple Six. This is basically, excuse me, the foundation of our company. So let me go through each one of these. Vitality, the first one on the top line on the left, is basically the hallmark of the company. That is the basic fundamental building block. It is basically a combination of superfoods and superfruits. What kind of superfoods and superfruits? Well, listen to this list of superfoods. It's got alfalfa and wheatgrass and barley grass and lemon juice powder and kale and spinach and spirulina and oats. It's got really wonderful kinds of foods. Then in addition, it's got super berries. It's got acai berry. It's got a goji berry. It's got pomegranate juice. It's got mangosteen. It's got strawberry juice. It's got cranberry juice. It's got mango berry and janum berry. All kinds of wonderful berries. So this combination of superfoods and super berries basically gives you a lot of energy. In addition, it's got all kinds of wonderful vitamins, which are natural organic vitamins, not synthetic vitamins, which a lot of manufacturers have. It's got minerals in it as well. It's got 72 trace minerals. Those are important to basically make sure enzymes are activated. It's got 16 amino acids in it. Of course, amino acids, as you know, are the building blocks of protein. It's got omega-3, 6, 7, and 9 fatty acids to reduce inflammation. It's like eating a piece of fillet of salmon. It's got enzymes in it to basically break down the components of it so it can be absorbed readily in the intestine. It's got amylase, lipase, protease in it. It's got probiotics. It's got 100 million live good bacteria. Specifically, it's got lactobacillus. It's got plantarum, and it's also got something called B. longum. These are probiotics that are good for your gut. So this product, Vitality, gives you energy. And when people say, why do I take it? I take it because of the energy. I've been on all of these products for about the last 2 years, and I love Vitality. It's one of my favorites. It's great for the heart. It's great for the eyes. It's great for the brain. The next product on the underneath Vitality is collagen. Collagen is a marine source collagen product. It's got 5 grams of collagen that come from deep seawater wild caught fish. It's also got in it, besides the collagen, it's got keratin, hyaluronic acid, it's got biotin, it's got vitamin C, and it's got pomegranate. Uh, Collagen gives you healthy skin, nails, hair, and joints. You take this for 10 days a month, and then you're off for 20 days. And basically, why do that? Because Dr. Dan formulated this so that it would signal the fibroblasts in your skin and in your muscles to make their own collagen. What happens with collagen is the levels peak when we're in our 20s, but by the time we're in our 30s, it decreases 1% a year. And by the time you are 20 to 50 to 60 years old, you probably are down about 20 to 30% in your collagen level. So it's important that you have good collagen. Now, why? It's not just about the fact that if you don't have collagen, your skin is going to get wrinkly and sagging and thinner. It's important because collagen is important for bones. If you don't have enough collagen, you're going to lower the density of your bones. You're going to be at increased risk of fracture from falls. And as people get older, the number one cause of injury and mortality, morbidity is falling. For the joints, you need collagen to be supple. Otherwise, your joints are going to become stiff and painful. In your blood vessels, you need collagen. If you don't have enough, you decrease the elasticity of the blood vessels that increases the cardiovascular risk. And finally, for organs and tissues, you need collagen to basically give you good structural support. So collagen is something that's very important. The next one is Eternal. That's in the center on the top line. Eternal is a combination of antioxidants, and antioxidants, of course, help us to get rid of free radicals, which cause all kinds of bad things with inflammation and cancer and heart disease and other kinds of maladies that you don't want. Now, what's in our Eternal? Well, we have three different antioxidants. CoQ10. Everybody's heard of CoQ10. It's all over the place. The beautiful thing about our CoQ10 is it's 3 times better absorption than anybody else's. It's also got resveratrol in it. Resveratrol is the antioxidant that's in red wine. Our product, Eternal, has 200 milligrams of resveratrol. That's important. But the big daddy, the big gun, is glutathione. That's one of the most powerful antioxidants known. So this combination of antioxidants, what it does is it protects us from UV exposure from the sun. It decreases inflammation in the body. And in a few minutes, when we get into the epigenetic study, you're going to see how this product basically decreases IL-6 by 1,250%. That's huge, but we'll go into that in a few more minutes. And it also protects us from premature aging. Now, that's what the company says. And you have to understand that in the world of proactive wellness and supplements, you've got to be very careful about not making health claims because the FDA shuts down companies like ours that get out there and make health claims. So management is very careful about what they put out about any of our products. However, it gives me great joy to share with you what are called personal testimonies, which means people get up at conference and they say, well, let me tell you about my experience on this product or that product. And people who have taken Eternal talk about the fact that their sleep is so much better. Their GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, is so much better. They have more energy. And now we're hearing from postmenopausal women who are going through the vasomotor aspects of postmenopause that are uncomfortable, mainly the sweating, the irritability, the hot flashes, the difficulty with sleeping. A lot of them are getting benefit from being on Eternal. As more and more women around the world start using this product, Eternal, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen with that. Okay, the next one below that is Revive. Revive is a wonderful product that Dr. Dan developed to basically give us what's called renewal and recovery. That's what he calls it. I think of this as a product for the weekend warrior. People who don't normally do a lot of activity, and then maybe over the weekends they go out and they cut the grass, they lift heavy trees, they do this, they do that, they play basketball, whatever, and by Sunday night they're hurting, they're sore. So he developed this to basically give you healthy joints, increase your flexibility, increase your mobility, and increase your range of motion. What's in it? It's curcumin. It's boswellia, it's black cumin oil, it's shiitake mushrooms, it's grapeseed extract, it's sea buckthorn fruit oil, and it's got piperine and menthol in it as well to enhance absorption. And what this does is it basically gets your tendons and your muscles and your joints, it eases them and gets rid of that stiffness that you get. Well, again, that's what the company says. It's called renewal and recovery. But then you'll hear individual people get up and say, well, I've been taking this and I feel so much better. But let me tell you about my experience with it. These, again, are personal testimonials not put out by the company. People get up and talk about their gout and how that on Revive it has decreased the frequency and the duration of the attacks of gout. People get up and talk about how their bone-on-bone osteoarthritis is better, their low back pain, their tension headaches, their fibromyalgia, their frozen shoulder issues, their rotator cuff issues. Just great personal testimonials, all anecdotal stories, but just showing you that a lot of people get a lot of benefit in individual cases from these products. And of course, as I'm going to talk about in a moment, it gives much better control of diabetes because what it does is it stimulates the production of GLP-1. And we'll talk about that when we talk about the epigenetic study. Okay, the next product is Immune up there at the top right-hand corner. And Immune is basically a product that Dr. Dan developed to give you, as it says, a total body immune support. And it basically is something he's got in there, something called Quorum Sensing Support Blend. Quorum sensing is the ability of bad bacteria in the gut to talk to each other. So this basically interferes with that communication and lets the good bacteria, the probiotics, basically have a dominance in the gut. It contains vitamins, it contains minerals, it's phytonutrients, and what it does basically it enhances the gut microbiome. And you're probably aware that 80% of your immune system comes from the gut. So people take this basically to get their immune support system at a higher level to prevent you from getting bacterial infections, viral infections, things like that. It's a good immune booster, if you will. Then in the bottom right-hand corner is Purify. This is the last of what we call the Simple Six. This Purify is basically a whole body detox system that's loaded with chlorophyll, and it's also got something called humic shale extract, which is rich in fulvic acid. It's got coriander leaf, it's got dandelion root, it's got kelp, it's got apple pectin, it's got stinging nettle leaf. And what this does is basically detoxifies and cleanses the 5 organs of detoxification currently in our body. And those are the liver, the lung, the colon, the kidney, and the skin. We are constantly exposed to all kinds of pollutants in the air, in the water, in the food we eat. Nanoplastics is becoming more of a problem, and microplastics is becoming more of a problem every day. And we're getting more and more research studies in the medical literature showing that plastics are in everything, including our heart, our coronary arteries, even our brain. So what we want is we want basically a system of purification that will hopefully get rid of all of these toxins, all these pollutants. Now, that's what the company designed Purify for, as basically a detox. However, people get up and say, let me tell you about my personal experience. And we're hearing about people who have irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, and IBS-C, irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, who are having great relief from Purify. We're hearing from individuals that it decreases the amount of bloating they have, that it helps them to lose weight, that it helps with their asthma and their allergies. So there's a lot of great effects so far that we're hearing about with Purify and more to come. Can you go on to the next slide, please? Okay, then we've got Visage. Visage on the left is really a dynamite product. This came out as a skincare product, and it's the first natural neurocosmetic. What does that mean, neurocosmetic? Well, it means you put this system on your face as like a cosmetic. However, it goes below the skin, stimulates the nerves, and stimulates your pituitary. Okay, there's four parts to this system. There's a cleanse, there's a toner, there's a super serum, and there's a creme caviar. The exciting thing here is that you look great, but I think more important is the fact that because of this neurocosmetic technology that Dr. Dan has worked out, it stimulates your pituitary to secrete serotonin, dopamine, and DHEA. Well, serotonin is important because serotonin is the problem with people who are depressed. They don't have enough serotonin, or the serotonin is not being utilized properly. So when you have serotonin on board, you are brighter, you have more energy, you're more alive, you're with it. That's what increasing serotonin does. Increasing dopamine is fabulous because of the three M's. We talk about dopamine with three M's. Movement. And as you're probably all aware, dopamine is one of the problems with people who have Parkinson's disease. They don't have enough dopamine. So this dopamine increases, gives you more better movement. It also enhances your mood. And the third M in the dopamine triad is motivation. It gives you more focus. So movement, mood, and motivation from having more dopamine. And with DHEA, it's the same. And Dr. Dan has got before and after blood levels of these dopamine and serotonin to show you that this works. So Visage skincare is great. I use it twice a day. I'm going to be 80 in a few months. And when I tell people I'm going to be 80, they look at my face and they say, "You got to be kidding." And I say, "It's Visage, baby. It's Visage." Kinetic. Kinetic is a relatively new product that's come out. It's basically a product that you mix up in 8 ounces of water. You open up that little package there, and it gives you natural energy with no crash. There's no sugar in it. There's no taurine in it. There's no aspartame in it. There's no sucralose in it. It's got 200 milligrams of what's called clean caffeine that comes from green tea. And it's got yerba santa in it, which is a plant, which is an anti-inflammatory and helps you with lung, throat, and digestive support. It's got B vitamins in it. It's got electrolytes. It's got nutrients. So what does this do? It gives you, number one, jitter-free energy without a crash. If you ever used Red Bull or Monster or any of those other drinks, they're loaded with caffeine, much higher levels. They've got all kinds of additives that we don't. You use them, you get stimulated, you get jittery, and then you crash. Not with Kinetic. Then it also supports brain function and mental endurance, and it gives you a positive mood. It's also a healthy way to hydrate, and it also helps with what's called adrenal fatigue to combat that and to prevent burnout. Okay, can you go to the next slide? All right. This is the last product that has just been introduced January 10th, and this is one that's really got tremendous potential. This is called GLP-3. GLP-3 is a product that basically is an alternative to the GLP-1 agonists out there, such as semaglutide, Ozempic, and all the others. Basically, what this is, it's a combination of 267 peptides. You can see that's why Dr. Dan called it MBC 267, powerful and patented. It's a combination of peptides that basically come from salmon and mushroom. And what he has developed here is a product that basically attaches to the GLP-1 receptor and basically mimics what GLP-1 does. However, it doesn't give you the same kinds of side effects that you get with GLP-1. Just to go over that, you all know about the nausea and the vomiting and the diarrhea and the hair loss and the bloating and the constipation and the GERD. But did you know that GLP-1 also has been associated with an increased risk for gallstones and pancreatitis and also worsening diabetic retinopathy? This GLP-3 has none of those effects. It's a liquid. You take 1 drop of full twice a day, and basically what you are going to get is similar effects of what the GLP-1 agents do without the side effects. As Oprah says, it obliterates the food noise. My personal experience with it is I've lost about 14 pounds since January 10th. Now, not everybody loses 14 pounds. Some people lose less. Some people lose more. Some people don't lose any. As you know, not everything works for 100% of the people. But the important thing here, besides the weight loss, is it gives you better sleep, it gives you better mood, it gives you more energy, and it helps to stabilize your blood sugar. The exciting thing about this product is it's all natural. When you stop it, there's not going to be any. So far, it's only been out since January 10th, so we've got to wait and see as more and more information is produced. But basically, it's a very safe way if you want to regulate your blood sugar, help metabolic processes, specifically with insulin, and also try to drop some pounds. It was interesting. Dr. Dan put into the fine print down there the actual study. I looked up the study. It's called The Initial Exploration of the In Vitro Activation of GLP-1 and GLP Receptors and Pancreatic Islet Cell Protection by Salmon-Derived Bioactive Peptides. And what the study shows, it's, by the way, it's in the journal Marine Drugs, Volume 22, October 30th, 2024. It shows basically that this product, these salmon peptides, will attach to GLP-1 receptors and give you the same kinds of effects as GLP-1 agents that are out now. Now, GLP-3 is going to be cost competitive with Wegovy. You're probably aware, because you've heard, that the GLP-1 products, which up until recently have all been injectables, and now have come out in pill form. And a company called Novo Nordisk makes Wegovy. It's semaglutide. And President Trump, muscled them and basically got them to agree to sell it to people who, without directly from a pharmacy, who don't have insurance. You can buy it for cash, and what it's going to cost is about $300 a month. And that's going to be for a 25 milligram tablet that you're going to take every day. Actually, it's $299 a month. So our product for a month is in that ballpark. But the beautiful thing about our product is there's no side effects. So if it's effective and you feel better and you sleep better and you have better mood and you have more energy, it's a home run. Um, okay. I just wanted to, before I stop, I just wanted to mention one more thing. This epigenetic study that Dr. Dan did is mind blowing. Basically, there were 20,000 genes in the body, 20,000. He took eight of those genes, and what he did is he basically incubated those genes with Vitalite, Revive, Eternal, and Collagen, one at a time, of course. So he exposed these eight genes to each one of these four agents. And here's what, and by the way, this is all available on the back office on the website if you want to get into the nitty gritty of it for the physicians on this call who want the details. But what he found is that all four of our products, Vitalite, Revive, Eternal, and Collagen, upregulated or turned on the activity of one of the genes that he looked at called PPARA, PPARA. That's a gene that has to do with ATP production and energy. It also turned on, all four of these products turned on another gene called SOD, SOD1, which has to do with healthy oxidation. He found that three of these four agents basically stimulated BDNF. That's another one of these genes, and that has to do with better cognitive function. All four of the products, Vitality, Revive, Eternal, and Collagen, they turned down or downregulated another gene called NFKB. That has to do with inflammation. Three of the four products also turned down or downregulated IL-6. That's interleukin. And as I mentioned before, one of our products, Eternal, drops the activity of IL-6 1,250%. That is huge. And then, of course, Vitality and Revive also turned up or upregulated GLP-1, which is one of those eight genes that he looked at. And that has to do, and also upregulated another one called NRF1, and that has to do also with energy. The GLP-1, of course, is what the big excitement is about now with the GLP-1 agents, and now with GLP-3, and now with GLP-3, our product. Because what it's shown is that with GLP-1, you basically are going to have better metabolism, better utilization of insulin, less insulin resistance, and better sugar levels for diabetics as well, plus the weight loss. So this epigenetic study is huge. And what you have to understand is that pharmaceutical houses are racing to try to develop pharmaceutical agents that have epigenetic effects. And we basically beat them to the punch. This is the first time that any organization has shown through studies that their products have epigenetic effects. And when I saw this, and I called up my friend Sally and I said, I'm in. And she said, don't you want to try the products first? And I said, I don't have to. I've never seen studies like this with epigenetics and then also with cellular absorption technology. Just let me briefly mention that because we skipped over it on the slide. The average absorption of vitamins and minerals is 10%. The industry standard is 10%. That means when you put a vitamin or a supplement in your mouth, you're going to absorb 10% through your gut and you're going to pee out or poop out 90%. So you've probably talked to people who say, oh, you're on vitamins, expensive urine. Ha 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 ha. Well, here's what our products do through the cellular absorption technology that Dr. Dan has developed. That means he's found a way to get better absorption across the duodenum in the small intestine in the gut and basically get the product into the cell quicker. And what he's found is that the absorption, instead of being 10%, goes anywhere from Revive being 30% all the way up to Eternal being 9.5 or 95%. So the absorption of our products is much, much higher than 10%. What does that mean? That means you're getting better bang for the buck. Think about it in terms of what you're spending. If you're spending money for a product, you don't want to flush it down the toilet. You want it to be absorbed. And that's what happens with our products. And that is called cellular absorption technology. Dr. Dan has it developed that it's patented, it's only ours, and that's very exciting as well. Okay, I think I have given you a little flavor of what we're all about. For the physicians on this call, ask whoever invited you on the call to show you some of these studies to get you into what we call our back office. There's tons of information for you to look at if you're so inclined. But if the science doesn't grab you, I would suggest to every physician on the call, try it. Try it for a month or two and see what happens. The reason this company has gone from zero to over 200 million in 2.5 years is because the products work. The products work.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Greene. You're amazing. I learned every time you speak, I learn so much. And I swear by these products. I use them every day. And of course, I'm 83, so I'm 3 years older than you. And I feel amazing. I have energy and I just travel and I go everywhere. So it's just pretty exciting. I know that we have doctors on here, and I know many times doctors always looking for multiple streams of income to put in their practices. And we have over 3,000 doctors using our products. And I thought maybe George could just cast a quick vision, just a quick vision of what opportunities, because it is something that you could add that on to your practice or other people. And it's something that if when you were to sell your practice, you would have another stream of income that would make your practice even worth more. Or maybe it's another stream of income that you want to retire with. So just for just a quick vision of what we can make, and that's what Dr. Greene has done too. He does very well, of course, but I know with doctors, you have malpractice, you have overhead insurance claims, you know, insurance, whatever. It just eat away, and this might be a way to pay for your overhead or whatever. So, George, if you just say a few words, George is one of our great leaders, and welcome, George.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Dr. Greene. Amazing presentation. There are words that I cannot even pronounce that you were pronouncing.
Yeah.
For those of you, you notice an accent, and my accent comes from one of our products because it has so many exotic herbs that my accent came. That's the Eternal, actually. Eternal has so many exotic fruits. That's an amazing product, one of my favorites. One of the reasons I am in this business is because both my parents died of cancer. And when my dad was dying, I was about 19 years old. My uncle, who was also an MD, and his friend, who was an oncologist dealing with my dad, they were talking, and they said, one day we are going to find something in the ground that's going to protect us against all this stuff. And that stuck in my head. It's why I became a fanatic of health food stores, books about health, etc. I went to school. I didn't go to school, medicine or anything like that, because actually I went to dentist school because my other grandfather was a dentist. But then I realized it was too painful. I didn't. And then I went into business. I love business and computers. I graduated in computer science and in business. But anyway, when I came to the US, I was hired by a company in the marketing area for international marketing. But then when the company went out of business, I found this kind of business. But I was very curious with nutritional products. Now, that was years ago, way before 3 existed. Always was looking for the best products. And when in February 2023, actually at the end of January, I was called. We were in California. I received a call from a friend of mine, and he said, George, what are you doing next week? And I said, well, I'm going back to Texas. And he said, well, come to Las Vegas. I ain't going to pay for everything. I said, what? Free vacation. I went there, and they, in a room, we were about 25 people. Some of them legends in marketing, and I said something big is going to happen. They present this, they introduce what was going to happen. Dr. Dan spoke, etc. At the end of the meeting, I knew some of the people that were in the room. We went to dinner, and they asked me, "Well, George, what do you think?" Because I've been in this business for years. I mean, we have groups that have sold almost $1 billion in products with a B. And I said, you know what? If we don't do this, we are going to feel sorry, because this is going to be very, very unique. Not just the business; it's because the products. The uniqueness that Dr. Greene was clearly showing. The fact that we are in the PDR is a huge thing. The epigenetics, I mean, it's a big thing today, because everything's been traced to the genes now, and we can improve our health with genes. And the fact that the company has taught us on the epigenetics, that's amazing. That's why I told people this is going to be huge. We sold over close to $1 billion before. With this, is going to be even huge. And I was not saying just from the point of view of the money. It's from the point of view of health. Now, we live in a world today that it's changing really quick. And the cool thing that they came, not only this company is really unique on the products that we have when you compare with other health companies, but also on the business side. I'm not going to go in details, obviously, on that, but I just want to tell you that the way that everything is created is in a way that help people to create another income, especially people that are really busy, like health professionals, medical doctors. They are so busy, but you need to create other incomes, because today with insurance, HMOs, all that stuff, I mean, it seems that you work harder, but you make less money. One of my friends who is a psychiatrist, he said suddenly he realized that he sees more patients today, but he's making less money because all the insurance, all the stuff that they had to pay. It's why this is a great way that on top that you are helping people, you are helping your patients, and at the same time, you are creating another income. And this is why I say this is a very unique opportunity. It is not a coincidence that we are attracting so many health professionals, some of them friends of mine, that two of them are part of the medical advisory board, because they understand what is happening in the world today. They have seen the results with themselves, their family, and their patients, because usually they started that way. They started using the product themselves with their family and their patients, and now they're on fire because they see what is happening. Income comes because the product is amazing. And to know a little more about the income, of course, make sure you connect with the person and invite you, or we can do a specific call for people that want to know more about how the income works. But I tell you, this is something that's going to be huge. Yeah, we sold around $200 million in the first 3 years, but we are going to be $1 billion plus a year one day, because just the GLP-3 products, just the Eternel, just the kinetics, those products, each one is $1 billion potential per year, because the uniqueness of those products. The kinetics, the energy product, I mean, I invite you, we already know GLP-3 is exciting because it's unique, but kinetics excite me a lot because that's so unique energy product. I was one pushing Dr. Dan. We have to have a good energy product. We are killing kids with the products that we have today out there. And that's not good. You don't want to kill kids. And when I mean kill, not necessarily kill them, but mentally it's affecting them. And you see high school, 15, 16-year-old kids drinking those things that are poisoning their body. We had the Eternel. That's one of my favorite products because it tastes amazing. Gave me an accent, like I said. But anyway, that product is amazing. I mean, we are going to be playing not pickleball, tennis when we are 100 years old. Because the kind of health things that we are putting in our body. And by the way, the cells always reproduce every few months or years, depending on the organ. We change our whole organs because they are reproducing, creating new cells. When we are putting the right things in our body, those new cells are going to be even better and better and better. And that's like the business. The more people knows about us, you are going to have more extreme of income because there are more people, they're going to grow this business. And not just the US, but we're right now in 14 countries. But eventually we are going to be in any country that we can be. One day we are going to be in 100 plus countries. And that's why from the extra income producing is amazing. I mean, and that's why I'm so excited about this. It's why I work very close with the company. I know the founder, Daniel. I know him for more than 20 years. I know who he is. I know what he has in his mind. I wish I could have a pill or a liquid or a drops with everything that he has in his head, where this company is going. Because if everybody starts trying those drops or pills, everybody will be signing up. We will have a huge line at the door of our home. Anyway, I just wanted to say that I don't want to go deeper, but the potential, like I say, is amazing. And it's fun too. It's fun because the kind of people that we are attracting is people like Dr. Greene, people that have amazing personalities. Not only they are great in their professions, real professional, but they're great people. And that's what we are attracting to. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I'm super excited and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, George. You're absolutely right. We've got Dr. Michelle Germain that just joined, OBGYN. She just joined, as we have many other doctors using these products. And really, at the end of the day, you're teaching people to redirect their spending and they get healthy, they feel good. You impact lives around the world. You're building a passive residual income. You know, Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, said if you don't build a passive residual income, you'll be trading time for money the rest of your life, and then you have nothing at the end. Here you can build a business making up to $21,000 a week, and then you have matching checks, some are just up to, we've seen in some cases, no earning claims, up to, as you build a huge organization. We've seen people make $900,000 in matching checks just in a month. So we have extraordinary stories, but these are all just depending on what the time and effort you put in. But some people, the doctors just want to make all their patients healthy, and then they tell another doctor, and the doctors join them, and they have a movement of keeping the world healthy and also making a passive residual income something you can leave to your family. So I just want to thank Dr. Greene again. You did an amazing job. I can see all the comments. I mean, Dr. Greene does this every Tuesday in the month of March, but he will also be doing, I don't know what his schedule will be in April or May, but we are so happy to have him. And again, thank you, Elizabeth, for putting this together. Elizabeth's one of our leaders. And building doctors and building an organization of great wealth and helping and serving the world. And thank you, George, for joining us. And I wish everyone a very happy Thursday. And again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.